Welcome back, Jiu-Jitsu fans, PGF fans, and just fans of grappling all around to Egghead Scramble podcast. But as you might see in the bottom corner, I have admitted who I really am. The worst kept secret of the world, at least of the PGF for the longest time, is out. My actual name is David Seagraves. I am Lieutenant Colonel in the United States Marine Corps, just about to retire, and I am the owner of, well, along with my son CJ, of the fourth franchise of the PGF, the Colorado Wolverines. And so we have an esteemed guest, somebody I'm really pumped about introducing you to, somebody who, and we'll talk about it, but, somebody that when I started floating the idea of making this a reality, that we could have a team in Colorado, this gentleman just was 100%. Reached out, we got to talking, started connecting me to amazing people, and just started getting behind the effort. And I knew very quickly that he needed to be a part of the team. Just one of those people you meet and you could talk to forever. Just somebody that is a quality individual. So here in a second, we're going to bring him out, but I'm going to tell you a little about him real quick. So I am going to be bringing out Donald Rosenow, a jiu-jitsu practitioner, referee, and active competitor. He is the co-owner of Integrity Moving, and he is also an instructor for the Subhounds Jiu-Jitsu or MMA Jiu-Jitsu team that just opened up in Westminster, Colorado. But more importantly for our speech today, or our discussion, I guess we'll talk about a lot of things, is he is now the partnership acquisition lead for the Colorado Wolverines. I give you Donald Rosenow.
Hey, Dave. Honored to be a part of the team and honored to be on the Scramble. Thank you for that lovely introduction.
No, greatly appreciate it, Donald. It still feels weird with jiu-jitsu people calling me by my real name.
I can call you Egghead if you want.
No. It's Dave. We're working together, and we got to start being a little more professional, perhaps. But just as we interact, we can still have fun with the homies and jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. On the mats, I'm still Egghead. I'm just because, when you throw me, I say we, and I get to be my goofy self, and so I'm never gonna let that go. But anyways, let's again enough talking about me. Let's just talk a little bit about we brought you in because you're a true believer. I mean, honestly, I kind of a kindred spirit. As much as I was a true believer in the PGF, I feel that you're a true believer in the Colorado Wolverines. And again, I mentioned it, but you're the partnership acquisition lead for our team, the Colorado Wolverines. Maybe we should discuss a little bit about some of the ideas we've had and what you'll be doing.
100%. So, first off, it was so incredible when I heard you were bringing this to Colorado. I thought this was a great thing. I love the sense of community that comes with jiu-jitsu, and the whole thing that we've talked about with making this Colorado's team made it so easy to want to get behind this and to try to push it and promote it as much as humanly possible. My label in the team is more for my ability to be able to connect people, to try to connect us to other gyms, to connect us to sponsors, to connect us to potential partners, to help grow the team in Colorado and keep us going. Some of the ideas that we've had that we're really pumped to bring to you guys are we're trying to start a gym partnership affiliation deal where basically we're going to promote the gyms that want to sponsor and jump onto this, right, on the website via collaborations on social media. You're going to see your logos, interconnected with the PGF. We'll have certain tiers. And the one I'm most excited about is that our higher tier one is that if you have an athlete that you think is incredible and you want them to be on the PGF, we're going to have those tiers. We're going to have a competition in Colorado for whatever weight class that season happens to be. and you're going to be able to compete for your spot on the franchise, not via a qualifier, just an in Colorado competition that guarantees you a spot on the franchise that you're not competing for. So this is just one of the many exciting things that we're trying to, cook up and figure out what we can offer to the other gyms here in Colorado to get them to hop on board
Sure.
and feel the same way that we do about this.
No, love it. I mean, we just kind of, one of our other partners shared with us the Simon Sinek's, start with why, and I'd seen it before, and it's worth rewatching. It's amazing. But like when we think about the why, we think about, as you said, about being for the Coloradans. I mean, we're about highlighting Colorado athletes, like you're just talking about, and we're going to do that in conjunction with highlighting Colorado gyms, and we're going to rely upon our people, our fans, but also working with Colorado businesses, again, highlighting them, nationally, but also throughout the state. And as long as we just keep with that, with that why, with that mantra of bringing shine to everyone that we can, that works with us, and just trying to lift up everyone in the jiu-jitsu community of Colorado, I think we're going to do great. And one of the things I get, talking to other people that know you, is that you're one of those people that can go and can connect different gyms. Important because we're not of a gym. We want to be of all gyms. I know you've trained different places. I started on SHIP at a hot box and related to 10th Planet Yuma. Then with one of the places it was in for a hot minute in North Carolina at a Wagner Rocha martial arts affiliate at a very small place, and then Gracie Charlottesville was kind enough to Pedro Sauer folks taught me for 3 years, amazing folks, and then now I'm back at 10th Planet. So but I mean but and it's one of the beautiful things is like everywhere I've gone, the community is open and welcoming. If you're the same to them, and I think you have that spirit, and I think we felt that again with each other. And I'm very happy to, as we say in the Marine Corps, have somebody with have boots on the ground out there to kind of like spread the word and talk to people.
Oh, 100%, Dave. Well, I love my current team. I love the Subhounds. I love all the guys on the team. I also love the community at large. There's something beautiful about jiu-jitsu where you can walk into any gym and you're going to see just a plethora of different people. Everyone from somebody who maybe works at McDonald's all the way up to somebody who's a doctor. And while we're on the mats, we're all the same. And I've always loved that about this. And it's just so easy to make great connections. And it's like, why would you limit yourself by only being insular and hanging out with your own team? When there's so many great teams that you could be cross-training with and networking with, and especially for those of us like myself who own businesses, trading business, why wouldn't you support somebody else who's so passionate about the same thing that you are?
100%. This is really just an amazing way to bring us all together. And I think it's, again, with you as our partnership acquisition lead, I think we're going to do a lot of great things. With as a business owner, I know you interact with other businesses all the time, chamber of commerce type stuff, and things like that. But also, again, gym owners, and again, you referee, so you see people around. You're another competitor, and I think one of the best things you told me about was like, Connor Hewen from 10th Planet, Denver. You were competing. You didn't have anybody there. It speaks highly of him that he just came over and was kind enough to coach you, and that shows again that kind of camaraderie, but also the scene of Denver that I think is a lot more collegial than what I've heard from some places.
100%. I mean, Connor played a huge part in me winning over at Nogi Pans last year. It was awesome. I mean, and that's just another thing about the community. If you're not if you try to be friendly with people, and you try to just be a good person when you're in their gym and try to add to instead of take away, you'd be surprised at the amazing connections that you can make, and then how they'll help you out along the way.
Outstanding. And and just to we can possibly come back to the Wolverines and stuff like that, and what you're going to be doing for us and some of our plans. And honestly, we're again, we're talking about partnership all the time. It's all about building relationships. If somebody out there is listening and you have a great idea, come on board. You know, if you want to get your brand out there into the world, or out there into Colorado, we got spots on the rash guard, spots on the T-shirt. We're open and figuring it out. If you want to talk to somebody in person, shake the man's hand. There you go. There's a guy to talk to. It's amazing. You reach out to a social, but let's take a step back. Let's and I think it's important for everyone to know a little bit about people's journey. So, how did you get into jujitsu? What got you into it?
All right, well, let me take it back just a little bit. Just because I think it's interesting and it's good for people who might be able to relate to me. So I made a lot of poor choices growing up. The same. No sadder than a whole bunch of other people. Really rough upbringing. Got into a lot of trouble. It basically got arrested my first time. I think like 12, 13 years old, and just kind of took me down a very bad path in life. Never played any sports. I'm a high school dropout. All that. Well, all those things led to me becoming addicted to methamphetamines and heroin, and that very quickly led into doing a lot of criminal behavior. And that was a real dark few years of my life. I was actually living in Alaska at the time, and I came down to Albuquerque, New Mexico to get clean. Was not exactly the smartest idea ever. That's a pretty hotbed for a lot of drugs. Lucky for me, though, I finally hit rock bottom there. Was homeless for a year, copped my fourth felony charge, and then wound up in a rehabilitation center called Delancey Street. Basically, it's like a hardcore 2-year minimum live-in rehab, right?
Okay.
So it's actually you only have to stay 2 years, but you can elect to stay longer. And I was making so many positive changes in my life that I actually elected to stay 2 extra years. So I spent 4 years in this. I kind of call it like a rehabilitation commune. It's a 17-acre ranch where we all do work. It's very militaristic in style and like in the discipline and everything that we have to do there. But really game changer for me, really changed my life. But the issue is I met my best friend and business partner there for the moving company, James Kozmar, and we both got out during COVID. So we'd spent 4 years in this like little bubble, this like 17-acre ranch, and then we're like in this big world where everything's going crazy, and it's a very scary place to be. And we had already had the plan that we were going to have a moving company. We don't have rich parents or anything like that, so we didn't have anybody who could help us. So we immediately went to work with 3 jobs. We would work from 6 a.m. to like 9, 10 p.m. at night, just stacking money, saving money so we could put a down payment on a truck. Well, while we were doing this, I was starting to feel a little crazy because I was afraid to like make connections with anybody who wasn't a part of the program.
Okay.
But that felt like it really limited my friend pool and my social circle, but I also knew that most people just like to drink and party and screw around. And at those 3 jobs I had, one of them was like a server at Red Lobster. And I'm like watching all these people. I mean, that made me even more nervous because, there's like, some of the other girls I was working with, very attractive, and they all just wanted to get drunk, and it was just like one of those things where I just felt very lonely, and I felt just really lonely. It was a real rough time. And funny story, there was this little guy that served tables there at Red Lobster. He actually lives up here in Denver now. I use him sometime for my moving company. He's a good friend of mine, Chris. But he's this tiny little 130-pound guy, had these gnarly cauliflower ears. And I remember I was rolling silverware with him one night, and I said, "Hey man, what's up with your ears?" And he said, "Oh, well, I do jujitsu." And he's like, "Hey, on the low, we're doing this, because it's COVID." He's like, "We're kind of doing these privates at the gym that I train at." And he's like, "I can get you in if you want to come try it out." And I was like, man, that sounds pretty cool. So I had always wanted to do martial arts. It just, if he would have been a Aikido guy at that Red Lobster, it would have been a completely different martial art I probably would have got into. But I wind up going, and I just got the snot beat out of me. Right, I had a roll with this tiny little Chris guy who thought I would just crush. And, I'm a 200-pound guy, and he just mopped the floor with me. And whereas some people see that and they hate it and they never want to do it again, I was like, wow, I want to learn this magic. So, I mean, I was just hooked, man. And
I love it.
that was that. I went from that first time to training almost daily, and it's been like that for 5 years now.
No, I love it. I mean, just the idea of the community. I mean, obviously we know that the good feeling, the oxytocin, or the good hormones we get from actually just contact with other people, and of course the community of like, hey, you're Donald, I'm Egghead on the mat, and it doesn't matter who the heck we are, and it doesn't matter what we do, but we eventually become friends. And even that, like, like, hey, where's he been? You start, how do I find this guy?
My favorite part of it, my very favorite part of it, and the thing that really kept me coming back, and like, unfortunately, I wasn't blessed with enough tism to be a world champion. I am a pretty social creature, and what I really loved about the community more than anything is nobody ever offered me heroin. Nobody's ever offered me meth. If you want to be good at this sport, you have to eat decent. You have to work out. You have to get some sleep. You have to forego what the normal person is doing in their life to get ahead in this, and to be a part of a community where everybody's making at least on the whole, healthy choices in their life, and being able to be like, man, I can really trust to be around these people, and they're not going to take me down that path I used to be on. And that's a beautiful thing about this community that's kept me really ingrained in it.
100%. I mean, so many people talk about, how they've regained their health from jujitsu, just getting in shape, stuff like that. But also, I think we talk about how, again, community and the mental health aspects of it. I kind of sometimes talk about it as like it's meditation in motion. Because if you all the problems of the world, your company, your family, whatever's going on, if you start thinking about that during a round, it's very self-correcting, because you'll be waking up in a second, like, what happened? Oh, that was a nice little nap. But again, I appreciate you talking about that story, just because, like, and I shared on the interview with Alex Wendell, like the transitions matter. Transitions matter from being in a bad place, with drugs and lifestyles, etc. With transitioning out of being in one type of environment that's all and then coming to a completely different one, and like you said, separating from the military, and I mean, all kinds of different transitions can be there. And I think one of the, like I said, we just have 2 use cases already that jiu-jitsu is the answer, because of the healthy choices people make, the healthy friendships that people make, the good environment, the mentorship, the collegiality, the camaraderie. It's something that people need and crave. And again, every place I've ever gone, I'm sure the same with you, everyone, it's open arms. Hey, bud, welcome to the family. Let's go.
98% of the gyms I've been to wholeheartedly agree, and trust me, I've been to plenty of them. Yep.
Yeah, it means a lot. Okay, so currently, you, and again, you went from, hey, let's try this crazy thing while you're rolling silverware, and now you're, again, an active competitor that's won all kinds of things. You've refereed, and now you're an instructor, besides owning your own company with your friend. What's that journey been like?
Well, I mean, it just seems like the natural state of something for somebody like me. What I found is, like, my team that I'm a part of, the Subhounds. You got people who are like ex-Marines. Tommy, our best MMA fighter that we have on the team. In my opinion, shout out Tommy. Shout out the rest of you guys too, though. But just to use him as an example, Marine. Developed a severe alcohol problem, was getting in a whole bunch of trouble, because people like him and people like me, even if mine's like so far to a different direction of using hard drugs, we have holes.
Yeah.
Right. So people like us, when you give us a good purpose, and i.e. for me, that's been growing my business, and that's been jujitsu. I mean, it's basically all I do. I don't really have any other hobbies, and like, when you take somebody like that and you give them a direction, and you give them some purpose, you're going to see some wonderful things out of this, because people like us, we're incapable of being lazy.
Sure.
Because we don't do good things when we're sitting alone or with downtime and our thoughts.
Idle hands, as they say.
100%.
No, definitely. I mean, and again, it's phenomenal, and I love the fact that you're an instructor for the beginner folks at Subhounds, just giving it back, giving that gift, paying it forward, if you will. And so again, I guess we should come back a little bit more towards the Wolverines.
100%.
And like I said, to be very fair, you're one of the guys that got me believing in myself a little bit, because you got me pumped up. We talked the first time. Your enthusiasm is infectious. Like, okay, I got this guy I can talk to. I can get you in touch with. I got this guy. You guys connected with Eric from BJJ Wholesale. They'll be on the podcast on Friday, and he's just been a godsend, and he's going to be an amazing partner for years to come. And you just keep thinking, you just keep finding ways to add value, and I just want to say thank you, because without you and another one of our partners, and kind of the inner circle that we'll have on the podcast later on, and people like Eric, and of course my son and wife, I wouldn't have had the guts to take the leap. And so I want to say thank you, and I'm looking forward to working with you for a long time.
Dave, it was easy to believe in you. All right. From the first time you chatted with me, I could feel this very kindred spirit when it came down to it. You're very passionate about jiu-jitsu, and you're very passionate in jiu-jitsu in a non-selfish way. All right. I just love doing anything in jiu-jitsu. The whole refereeing, I love it. The fact that sometimes they'll cut me a check too. I'm like, wow. I love it. And especially if I'm refereeing high level jiu-jitsu and I get to be so close. I've got to ref Jacob Couch before. I was like, oh my God, look at what I'm watching here. It's just, I've seen so many cool things in this. I just get so passionate, and I could tell you were the exact same way. So I knew having somebody like you who's so into being this having this Colorado Wolverines team and really making it about Colorado, and just the way that you talked, it made it so easy for me to want to get on board and to back you up 110%.
I thought, again, I thank you, man. And truly, you just keep coming with connections, with ideas. And I'm telling you, you're the partnership acquisition lead for a reason. You're just like we kind of talk about my son, how he has so many things that he does that's perfect that I don't. It's not naturally me. Your connectivity with everyone, your extroversion, seems absolutely natural, and is something I want to emulate, and we need. And again, I'm really pumped about it. So, part, I'm just again, we're in a bit of a love fest here, folks. To be very honest, and it's okay. I'm very, very pumped, and I'm happy that Donald's gonna be representing us and gonna help us bring Colorado Jiu-Jitsu together.
And real fast too, and look, folks, anybody who might be listening to this, as far as what Dave was talking about, as far as if it's a team, if you're a company that you could see something like this would be great for you, reach out with your own ideas even. I'm definitely going to be hitting the ground running with this. DMs, handshakes, phone calls, whatever I can do to try to do my part to push this team forward and get us going. But if you have an idea, please reach out. 110%. I mean, we'll hear you out. This thing is in its infancy, and it's just like what Dave's been talking about. This is not a selfish thing. Trying to make this for Colorado, by Colorado. We want to push Colorado Jiu-Jitsu and Colorado businesses as much as possible. Let's all do this together. So if you have an idea, you have anything, you got a pitch, please reach out. I'd be happy to hear it.
100%. And again, just going towards the touchstone. I was talking to the internal team, as long as we always go back to the idea of lifting up Colorado athletes, lifting up Colorado gyms, lifting up Colorado businesses, as long as we start with that why, and that kind of drives everything we do, we will be successful. I have no doubt. We already got, we're going to bring them on. Maybe we'll leave that for later on. We already have 2 franchise athletes out of Colorado. If you're following us on Colorado Wolverines, BJJ.
Pump for you guys to know about these guys too. Pump for you guys.
Yeah, we already went with two hometown guys or home state guys that are actually both PGF veterans. And again, that's a thing where we want to lift them up, but it's also I want the Colorado jiu-jitsu practitioners and the kids and the people that aren't quite sure if they can do competitions to look at these franchise players, to look at, pardon me, there we go. To look at Donald and to know that, that just have the courage and be about it. You can do this. And I think that's going to mean a lot to us. And again, we're going to figure this out. We want to partner with, people that we can add value to. Season 7 of the PGF had, 11 million different views. And so we're getting more mass appeal, but nationwide. At the same time, as we build this team up, there's 128 plus, BJJ gyms in Colorado. And we can all be there for each other. Hey, the commish hopping in. So saying hi, obviously, talking about a guy with some vision. I'm telling you, looking back in COVID, like you're talking about, when he started the PGF and actually had orders where, we couldn't train on base. And it was just killing us. So that ability to watch the PGF from afar was just masterful. And like I said, I came in and I was a part of the PGF as I didn't realize I was going to be a commentator. I was a pre and post show guy. I was going to be for fantasy because I started blogging about it and stuff like that. And then, 5 minutes before PGF season 3, all of a sudden, Brandon tells Stephen Aiken, hey, you're going to be the announcer. Here's 2 different mics, one for the YouTube, stream, and here's one for the in-house. And Egghead, get out of the stands. You're now up here on the commentary table. And to that point, just being there. And that was back when it was actually a 10th Planet Decatur, where I'd seen it for 2 different seasons and just being a part of it. I was so pumped just to be there. And then later on, to season 5 with Brandon himself and TJ DeSantis being these, sitting next to these guys doing commentary with these guys. They were just like, oh my God, this is the big leagues. And they let this schmuck sit next to them. Man, that was mean, Brandon. I mean, you're like a gajillion, level black belt, and that's you're a nicer gentleman than that. I know that's mean spirited.
And thank you, B-Mac. I'm definitely going to take good care of him.
but once we got out to Vegas, again, season 5 when Brandon when Matt Wallstrom and Zoltan Bathory, the Epic Roll guys came out, and then Zoe and Heather Gracie bought in, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, we're in Vegas now, and we're having the legends of the sport there, which you might handle it better than me. I just keep my stone Marine face on and try not to fanboy out too outwardly, but it's super surreal.
Egghead, it's so hard for me to not glaze, man. I've worked on it. And anybody who's seeing this, who knows me, knows that I am totally that guy. Alexander Hernandez from UFC has come to train with us. The first few times I'm like, I can't, I'm the same way. I've gotten better about it though. Now I try to pretend to be cool, but inside I'm super stoked, with all because I follow these people, it's just incredible stuff.
100%. And, again, I'm really pumped for you because, just from being a referee, from being a part of everything you can be in Colorado, again, your job right now is to help make this happen, is to help make us, keep going, to keep the momentum going, to build upon it, et cetera, as our partnership acquisition lead. But at the same time, man, come on, you're coming out to Vegas. We're both going to have to work on not fanboying, because as we're serious representatives of the Colorado Wolverines, which we are, and we believe in everything. We're gonna have a great time. I guess, yeah, I just want to say to everyone, and for Brandon stepping in here, hey, feel free to reach out to Donald, and to reach out to Colorado Wolverines BJJ on Instagram. We're going to add Donald to that account as well. But you can reach out to him. You can reach out to any of the Egghead Warrior, Egghead Jiu Jitsu, or that one, or Donald himself. We'll give him this information here in a second. But again, it's kind of that for us by us. We want to have. I mean, honestly, if I could, I'd have everyone from Colorado on the team. I've had all kinds of people reach out. They say, "Hey, I'm the best guy around 175." I'm like, "Hey, brother, I love it. I'd love to see you, to check you out. Please hit a qualifier."
There's one more left.
There's one more left. Actually, you have to register tomorrow. I think they're closing registration maybe tomorrow midnight. Go to pgf.world, check it out. And if you win, you're in on the draft. I think there's at least one at-large spot. So if you win the American Idol tryout with Brand McCatherine, the BMAC, maybe you'll get that last golden ticket that way. Or another kind of interesting thing is that this, and I don't know if we talked about this yet, but should we run out of people from our alternates, from our free agent pool, that's going to be who's ever in the draft will be free agent pool primary. But should we need to pull more people in, it will have to be somebody who has done a qualifier. There's no more bringing in ringers, calling a homie from Austin, hey, I know you didn't, you couldn't commit to being out here for 5 weeks, but how about just one and just mopping the floor with some people real quick for me? That's no longer in play. So that's a great thing about the PGF is constant iteration, and bringing it back to the Wolverines. That's what we're going to do. I mean, we as we figure things out, we're going to listen to people, and Donald's going to be the man with the ear to the ground out there, shaking hands, kissing babies, and a little secret, didn't tell anyone yet, but after the draft, CJ and I will be out there with Donald, meeting people, figuring things out. And again, it is a completely collaborative approach to business. We want to build relationships. We never want to be the smartest people in the room, even though I have a 20-pound brain. That's a dad joke, perhaps. I don't know, or just a poor joke. But the point is, we can all learn from each other, just like we do on the mats in jiu-jitsu. Is that we can all grow together, and with the Colorado Wolverines, we will be that community, and we're going to build this team together. Period.
100%. Couldn't have said it better myself. This is I truly wouldn't have put my time. It's not like I just have loads of time. Being about running a business, I also am putting a kid through college, so I work side jobs. Also, I train every day, still go to the gym. So, like, for me to want to jump on board with something is something I really believe in. And we're done glazing each other, but this guy's a really good guy. His son's really good. Our other teammate that you guys are gonna see, really good stuff. We got a lot of stuff cooking. It's just please be open to the idea. I can't wait to start talking to people about this, and I can't wait to hear whatever your ideas could be or anything like that to grow this and make this Colorado's team, the Wolverines.
All right, guys. You've now heard a little bit from our partnership acquisition lead, Donald Rosenow. Please, if you could, just because they might need to get in touch with you, how can they reach you out?
Well, I mean, you can reach out to me directly, even via my phone number, which I don't mind putting on here, just maybe not on Google, but 505-755-1569. You can also get in touch with me via Instagram at Rosie Dawn with 2 Y's, ROSEYYDON.
And CJ just put the QR code for it down there too.
Yeah. You can email me any way you want to. You can run up to me in traffic. I don't care. We want to get the word of this out, and we want to grow this as big as possible for this state and for you guys. And so, however you can get in touch with me, smoke signals, it doesn't matter. Let's get in touch. Let's talk, and let's do some business.
Love, Donald. We're going to send you back to the the green room. We'll talk in a minute and keep planning. But again, it's that enthusiasm, it's that passion for the Wolverines and Colorado Jiu-Jitsu that makes you perfect for being a part of this team. Thank you, sir.
One more quick shout out. So over at Subhounds, we did open up. I just want to shout out the gym. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
please,
part of.
please,
So
please.
over at Subhounds, we did just open up a new location over on 62nd and Federal. It's incredible. Thank you to the community. We've had so many people coming through. Me, I'm just a beginner's coach. It's been awesome. We got our first legit beginner today. It was an incredible experience coaching that guy. But Anakin McMahon, you guys know who he is. He's going to be heading out to Vegas. Incredible athlete. He is our head coach over there, and in conjunction with Jimmy, who's running the MMA program. If you guys want to check us out, we are inexpensive, and you're going to get some high level instruction and some great training partners and some great new friends. We'd love for you guys to come check us out if you like.
All right, brother. Definitely, everyone check out the Subhounds. I love the fact that seeing the old footage. These guys were training in a garage, kind of like old school, almost Rocky feel. And it's amazing. Obviously, hey, if you happen to be moving around Colorado, integrity moving, help a guy out, because we don't get the biggest budget to pay people. So, help out his real job, please.
Hey, and look, so it irritates me to no end when one of you guys in this community use a different moving company. Ask anybody who's used me. A tremendous amount of people have used me. I cut you a massive deal because I love this community. So it's like, just reach out to me. I'm going to cut you a great deal. You're going to have an excellent service, and you're going to love your time with us.
I love it. All right, again, Donald, anyone that spends any time with you knows that you're amazing and can feel the enthusiasm about everything, especially jiu-jitsu. And folks, don't worry, this is not the last you've seen of Donald on the show. And obviously he'll be in the socials and stuff like that for the Wolverines. And maybe when we go out there after the draft, we can show some fun things of like him like tossing me around like a rag doll, or and I'll say we'll figure it out. But again, Donald, so proud to have you on here. And hey, let me close it up, and I'll talk to you in a second.
Much love.
All right, again, hey, appreciate everyone out there. Oh shoot, don't worry, Brandon. I will tell him that Anakin needs to finish up his dang registration. Come on, Anakin. That's you're going to be there. We've told everyone you're going to be there. There's no surprises now. Just click the buttons and finish the job. Okay. But again, if you are a Colorado Jiu-Jitsu competitor, 175 or below, I mean, honestly, if you can hit 175 once, you can get up to 194 weekly. And Vegas, baby, Vegas. If you can sign up by tomorrow, you get a chance. It's this Saturday. You will see, Egghead, the Dave Seagraves, the owner of the PGF, and his son, the other owner of the PGF, CJ. Donald will be still working everyone in Colorado. We're actually going to have Kenny Johnson, our coach, amazing jiu-jitsu and wrestler. He's going to be there as well. So, hey, come on out. If you want a shot, this is it. This is like, no kidding, your last chance. If you want to do it, don't be hitting me up on the Instagram saying, hey, I want to be a part of the Wolverines. I want to compete for you this season. Because all I can say is you better freaking register right now. But again, hey, Brandon, thank you so much for hopping in here. Kind of surreal that you're commenting on my YouTube when it was, vice versa for so long. But I love you, brother. So proud to be part of the PGF and, leading the Colorado Wolverines. Colorado, we got a team, folks. Your team, my team, our team. The twinkle in the eye will always happen because I was an 80s kid, so I loved it. All right, here's the thing, folks. I love you all, and we're going to get behind you. You're going to get behind us. I know it. We will succeed. We will take over. And, I have to use the catchphrase now because it's the show. So we can't all have 20-pound brains, but I'll help you make up for it. See you next week or on Friday.